coming on the digital week. We have 6 nights in Search London, and we have, of course, at the end of the week, Brighton SEO. Thank you all for coming tonight. For those who don't know me, I'm SEO Joe Bloggs, the organizer. This is Tim. He's been co-organizing since, I think, what, 5 years now? 6. So we have this event, so now for 8.5 years. And we're really happy that, yes, Nick, you've been one of our regulars as well. Monse too, David.
Go here.
Lots of people that are here today. So we have a special competition as well today. So our media partner is Digital Elite. Woo! So this is It is, if you have been living under a rock, it is the best SEO search and conversion rate optimization conference in London. I'm just going to shut this for a minute, Tito. And it's taking place in, there we go, there's the address. 241 Borough High Street. So actually it's only about a 20-minute walk from Waterloo or right outside Borough Tube. So it's a full day of conversion rate optimization and search. So it's 2 tracks where we get together for breakfast and also lunch, and there's some Q&A sessions, SEO clinic, and a lot of insights and tips. And I asked all of you coming, would you like to win a ticket for Digital Elite Day? And yes, you guys have. If you have not, we will be doing a draw after the talks, so please put your name in. And I will be giving a limited time only of a 25% discount to those who have attended for today. So this is just in 2 months' time. It's a great event. Craig is the founder of the conference, and it's been running now for, you've had 4 conferences now. 6 events. So 5 in London, 1 in Manchester. So fantastic event for us. And today we are joined by 2 speakers. Marco from Mediacom and Margot from EF. And Marco Bonomo, did I say it right? And Margot Baruskova. And Marco is going to give us a sneak peek to his presentation for Brighton SEO. So our hashtag today, as always, is #SearchLGN. So feel free to be tweeting today, take photos, tag us on Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever. Sharing is caring. So thank you very much, Marco, for giving your presentation about 5 best SEO alerts. I'll hand it over to Marco.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Marco Bonomo. I'm working, just a little introduction about myself. I'm working for Mediacom. I'm a senior SEO planner, and now like few slides about myself. I was born and bred in Verona, which is a lovely little town not far from Venice, in the north of Italy. I'm in love with bread. Obviously, Italian cuisine is probably one of the best. And something that not many people know, I used to do figure skating. So my best movie, the one I like the most, is Blades of Glory. If you ever had the chance to watch it, it's amazing. Just go and watch it. And today we're talking about SEO alerts to save you time. So what are we going to learn today? How to save time with automatic SEO alerts, and to be the first to know just in case anything goes wrong. The agenda for today. So we're going to have a look at how to track anything wrong with robots.txt, traffic and revenue, and then performance, and then rankings, if, and then finally takeaways. The first one is about robots.txt. This is my personal experience, like agency experience. One of the clients, like few years ago, had this issue. So had this line on the meta description, no information available for this page, then why, which is telling you that something really wrong is happening. So I check traffic, I check everything, and I saw this one, which is something like nobody ever likes to see. Also, the traffic was really like nosedive, was really dropping. I checked pretty much everything on the website, technical and not, and I wasn't able to find anything until I've been to Robo.txt, and then also something really, really disturbing. The developer, which was actually leaving a company, was like installing an entire website, which is like, it's causing like any search engine like Google and Bing not indexing the site anymore. So it was pretty much like a bad situation. To recover, to fix this like in the future, I find a very, very interesting tool called Visual Ping, which is a Canadian company. The website is visualping.io. It's a page change detector, which basically like is giving you any alert just in case anything is changing on the page. And it's free up to 2 pages, so you can track 2 sites for free. I personally use like a kind of paid version, because I got many sites from my client in the agency. The setup is very, very easy. Just go to Visual Ping. On the top, just put the robots.txt URL. And on the bottom, just switch to any change. It's really important, switch to any change. And then start receiving notification. Hopefully nobody's going to change the robot.txt without you knowing that. The next one is about, the second one is about traffic and revenue. And basically, let me explain this picture. The one in the middle, it's Google, with the updates, every month they like to make our lives like a bit more difficult. So it's like Google, making like suddenly like all of a sudden like changes. The one on the bottom is probably the website you're blind. So from time to time you're going to receive a hit to your rankings. And the ones on the right is you, reporting once per month, usually. And this is quite important. Why? Because this means that if this is the calendar, and you are reporting, for example, on the 1st of the month, and let's say something really, really wrong is happening on the 7th, you lost an entire month. Because you don't know exactly what happened in that month. And if you report on the month after, you basically lost the month, like, okay, revenue, traffic, you don't know what happened. So my solution is the custom alerts with analytics. Probably most of the people know that, but not everybody has implemented them. They're very easy to set up. Just go to settings, custom alerts, and then just add the name and the notification emails. I like to propose like 4, probably the most basic ones. The most important absolutely is no traffic, because it probably means just a couple of things. First of them, the tracking code analytics has been misplaced. For example, if you got like, they changed the layout, the developer forgot to input the tracking code. Second one, obviously, maybe the server is down. That means probably you got to receive no traffic at all. This one is probably the best one. Another one is dropping traffic. I recommend maybe that 20% is good for most of the websites. And then dropping goals, especially if you got a lead generation website. And then dropping revenue, especially if you got like a kind of e-commerce website, this kind of websites. Performance. When we're talking about performance, I really think it's more like British summer, because every year we got expectations. Oh, today is sunny, so it's going to be sunny all the summer. But sometimes reality.
And we had a great summer last year.
Yeah, we did. We had 2 days last year, Marcus.
Sometimes reality is a bit different. And to be honest, it's the same for performance. Because if you track the performance today, it doesn't mean that tomorrow or in like a week, 2 weeks, it's going to be the same. And also, an uptime monitor is not going to tell you if the site is like, if your e-commerce site is slowing down, which is why I use RapidSpike, which is a tool like is an English company. I use it for my clients. It provides continuous performance tracking and also smart notification, which means that basically you're not going to receive a notification every hour, which is quite a good thing. But the highlights about RapidSpike, first one, performance tracking, basically is downloading all the resources like from different locations, which is good because not all of your clients are from London. Another thing is performing every day the automatic Google Lighthouse audit, which is good because you can see the trends over time. And then it is going to track the third parties, like for example, if you got an app, so widgets, this kind of stuff. Because if your site is like slowing down, is not always up to your everything that is on your server, but sometimes is up to the servers of some other like providers. And talking about the rankings, pretty much same topic we cover with the traffic. And there are multiple ways to get notified. I personally use Brightedge, which provides a really good like preview feature, and also SEMrush. If you build up the projects, they can provide really simple triggers. For Brightedge, the setup it's really easy. Just go to settings and then go to anomaly detection. What I recommend to do is to set up the drop out of page 1. So anything that is like ranking position 1 to 10, if it's going to position number 11, it's going to receive a notification. And also try, this is quite useful, not many tools they got this preview feature, so Brightedge is quite good at providing this kind of feature. The other one is SEMrush. As I say, go to your projects, then click on alerts, and then this is like the same of Brightedge, leaves the top 10, and also another one is loses more than 5 positions, another as good as the first one. And also, if you see like also if you this shift in rankings, you probably want to go to SEMrush sensor, because obviously if there is like vulnerability in the SERP, you might have a like Google update, so you might want to inform your clients. About if I don't know if you ever used it. I'm falling in love with the tool. It's such a good features. It's also free. Basically, it means that if this, then that. So if we got any kind of event, then we can trigger something. We can receive a notification by Gmail. You can populate your Slack channel. You can populate a row on the Google Sheet. So it's really good. I'm going to provide just 3 samples. First one is about RSS to Google Sheets. So, for example, if a new feed is published, then you're going to receive it's going to add a row on a specific Google Sheet. And now pretty much any blog has got the RSS feed, so it is also like a free outlet. It's quite useful. Another one is if you use like Twitter. For example, if you want to track the tweets of a competitor or somebody you like to follow, obviously we are not on Twitter all the time, so you might miss something. So if, for example, if an SEO expert tweets, then it's going to add a row with all the tweets, the links, and everything. It's super useful, especially if you follow like a person who's tweeting a lot. Finally, the last one is track hashtags. It's really helpful, especially if you got an event. For example, search London. I'm tracking at this moment. I'm tracking all the tweets that got the search London in the hashtag. So I'm going to check then if there is any tweets, and it's going to populate basically a Google Sheet. It's quite useful, especially if you want to compare, if you're like an organizer, and if you want to compare like the event you made today to the one you're going to make in like 2 weeks. This one is going to tell you how good, how popular is the hashtag as well on Twitter. And finally, takeaways. So test the alerts straight away. Those are like the alerts we saw today. So for Robo.txt, it's visual peak. Traffic arriving, you can work it out with custom alerts on analytics. Performance, I recommend RapidSpike. It's quite good. It's not really expensive. Rankings with probably already using them SEMrush and Brightedge. And then finally, IT. Second one, state control, is more like a kind of agency advice. Manage all the notification with the clients, and also be ready to provide an explanation if anything goes wrong. You don't really want the client to be notified for any kind of alert, so you always want to be the middleman, you always want to be the filter. And finally, maintenance is key. So even if you set up 1,000 alerts to be alerted of everything, you need to review all of them every few months, and also test out new alerts over time, which is also like a really good practice. That's it. Thanks for coming.
Okay. We have time for a couple of questions. Who would like to go first?
Hello.
Hi.
For the GA intelligence alerts, other than like traffic going to zero or like declining week on week, are there any other sort of tips and tricks you have, or like anything you recommend for like quicker reporting? So normally it's day by day, right?
Yeah, basically, if you're a bit technical, and I know you know analytics quite well, if you can, you can work out with regex. You can create as many as specific alerts as you want. I didn't want to go too much deep into like this kind of like special custom alerts you can create analytics, but literally the sky is the limit.
Cool.
Hi, I had a quick question about Google Analytics alerts. I find that with static alerts, how you said you have to review the alerts every couple of months to basically find its work with the growth of the company, etc., and trends. But what if you use automated anomaly detection for that, like and use machine learning so that it kind of automatically adjusts the rules itself and prevents the requirement to basically do that? To basically have it as an automated alert? Have you heard about something like that at all?
No, to be honest, I never tried. But it looks really good idea, to be honest.
Fair enough. I've been using a tool like that called Millimetric actually.
Oh, interesting.
I'll just share that with you.
Cheers.
There's another question somewhere in the middle.
Oh yeah, will you share the slides?
Yeah, sure.
Also, who's coming to Brighton? See you.
Yeah.
Excellent. We're also catch market again in Brighton on Friday. Yeah, of course.
So, what is the best time for you to get alerts? Like really, like as it happens, or do you set like an alert for the middle of the night so that when you check your inbox in the morning you see it? How do you?
I mean, when you receive the
Because I can
notification.
imagine like some of these alerts, like you could get like your inbox can get totally clogged with all kinds of alerts. Some of them might be red flags, some might be yellow flags. How do you manage that?
Well, usually for the rankings, probably you receive one every week, something like that. The one with analytics, they're much more like frequent. So if in a few hours your site is going down, you're going to receive a notification for the traffic. So it really depends of the alerts you're going to set. But you're right, it's probably the biggest. It's like the kind of Gmail account you created like 10 years ago, and now it's got 5,000 emails of spam.
Yeah.
You don't really want to have that. So that's why it's a good idea to review them like every few months.
So if you would have to choose one of these alerts and you had to get rid of all the other ones, which one would you pick?
My personal experience, not many people are tracking robots.txt. So I set it up for all my clients because more or less like you're going to have a look at the, if you still got traffic, revenue, or maybe you got like a weekly call. But robots.txt is not many people apart from the developers, and if you're like a technical, like look at it. So probably robots.txt is a good idea to have a look at it.
Do you do any kind of alerts for competitors' backlinks?
Probably you can do with an API. And to be honest, I never tried.
Just wondered if,
Probably, yeah.
if that is a ranking factor.
Yeah, probably with Moz, Hrefs, I'm pretty sure they got this feature. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question about your one about rapid spike.
Mm.
So this is continuous performance tracking. So what do you say for a client that's saying, I don't want anything crawling my site?
So I don't want.
I don't want anything crawling my site, because some people are sensitive for having a crawling tool and they block them. So would rapid spike fall under that?
Well, to be honest, it's probably not as intrusive as some other crawlers.
Like deep crawl, so it doesn't go into as much. Because I was using deep crawl and it was being blocked. So have you found rapid spike is blocked by client sites, or?
You mean if you had to whitelist the?
Yeah, do you need to whitelist rapid spike?
For my clients, not.
Okay.
For example, if you use a tool like a deep crawler, you can use the stealth mode. So it's going to change the IP, it's a kind of like a smart way to sneak in and not to get.
Stealth mode.
Yeah.
Okay. But you don't have to do it anyway with this rapid
No,
spike.
no,
Okay.
not in my experience.
I was going to say, you mentioned that Rapid Spike is tracking a lot of the Google Lighthouse
Yeah.
side of things. is that just for one of the pages within your domain, or is that for the entire domain? Check for the Lighthouse.
I believe it's tracking just the mainly like the pages you want, like the home page.
Yeah.
I'm not sure 100% that if you can track many different pages. Probably you can.
Okay.
Actually, I have one last question about the ranking.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much do you think that really does impact on the traffic? Because everyone's moving away from tracking certain keywords. Well, not everyone, but we want to move away from always tracking certain keywords. So, how much of an impact do you think the rankings do have on traffic?
I think it's still very much relevant. For example, a few weeks ago we had the Florida 2 update, and one of my clients really got like a nosedive because they lost like few rankings. So if you got, especially in e-commerce, and if the e-commerce is quite established website, and probably you're already ranking for like very short tail terms, and it's something that's really happened. Like I saw lots of shifts in like the rankings for like literally like 2 words, like yeah. So it's still I would say if you got an e-commerce and is a quite an established website, it's still a good idea to track the rankings.
And how many would you track?
Well, with this one, you're going to track all of them.
Like 100 or?
Yeah, for example, with Bright Days, probably the basic account is 150.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, round of applause for. Give us a couple of minutes to get Margot.